Hey everybody, David Pinto with PDR Nation. Today I'm going to do a quick demonstration of a health scan on my wife's GMC Denali. I'm going to use two different systems. I have the Snap-on Ethos Pro with the latest updates for 17.4, and then I'm going to compare that with Autoenginuty's new program that I've just recently got, and give you an idea of what the difference is between the two and how to use each of them. So we have the Ethos Pro. I have that plugged into the OBD port down here on the bottom. Every car after 96, I believe, has that. Before that, it was an OBD1. So you just plug that in. Little green light comes on this. You turn the ignition on without starting the vehicle. And I'm just going to hit the scanner. Then I'm going to go down and select GMC. And this is a 2012. Let's see if it picks it up on the automatic ID. It does. And then we just hit code scan. It's a pretty simple unit to use. It's one of the things I like about it. It kind of walks you through effortlessly. And we'll see how many systems it detects as it moves its way through. Now, the more options you have on a vehicle, the more systems it's going to have to go through. Some of the newer vehicles that have advanced safety systems, lane departures, automatic braking, things of that nature, they're going to definitely have more modules that have to get checked. But it typically only takes a couple minutes to run through and scan everything. So we'll let this run through. While that's running through and checking the systems, I am going to switch up gears here a little bit and just kind of get out the other unit that I have. Now, this is a unit from Autoenginuty, and this is a unit that works off of Wi-Fi with my iPad. So rather than having the cord tethered, I'll be able to put that dongle on and then pick it up on my iPad and run it through that. And with the Autoenginuty, you can kind of go through and check out a few more things. Okay, so now this has two airbag codes that have come up. You can scroll down to it and click on it and display the codes, current codes. No codes present. We'll go back. History codes. Okay, front right side impact sensor open circuit. And front rear side impact sensor open circuit. So that's not good. I'm going to back up here. When I bought the car last summer, and got the scanner, I actually ran it and cleared those codes, and they were back up, so that's not good. I may have to have a talk with my dealership about that. Seat module code, let's see what that is. Left seat cushion heater, circuit resistance above threshold. So I have to tell her to be careful of the heat sensor. All right. Little things like this that you don't know what you're working on until you've actually done this. So if I was to do a dent repair or had a hail damage or something, these are things that you want to know before you touch the vehicle and start working on it. So you can also scroll down. I went through and clicked on the codes themselves, or you can scroll to the bottom and it'll show you the same codes. And there they are. So with this unit, what do is you can save it. Okay. If you wanted to, say, take a picture of this screen, you can hit this little button down here and click that, and it'll save it as a file. Same thing here. Okay. Now, the thing that I don't like about this system is that now that I've saved that, if I wanted to print it out, I have to go to Snap-on's Direct Connect website and then print it from there. I have to connect my unit to my laptop, upload that information, and then then I can print it from the website. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to back out of everything here. And I'm just hitting the X button there, and then I can power off. And that's basically what you get from the Ethos Pro. Now I could go in and clear those codes, but I'm not going to do that for two reasons. One, I did it once before when I first bought it, and the codes are back up, so I want to leave those on there at this point for somebody that may need to do the troubleshooting on that. But this is also something that I can take to the dealership now that I bought this car from, and let them know, because they're actually an account of mine, that, you know, they sold me a vehicle with faulty airbags, and if this thing was to get into an accident, they could actually be liable for that. So let's see, you know, this thing, just same thing, plugs right into that OBD connector. See the three little lights come up on that. Then we break out the iPad. All right, I'm not going to show you my code, but okay, so we have, this is the, I'm going to close that out just so you can see. That's a Gitto app. You click on that, brings this up, and then I'm going to click on the connect button up there, open settings, and waiting for you're going to go into your network settings. This is my Wi-Fi at the house, and I'm going to let that go until it oh, I don't want that. Cancel. I want that one. Okay, and that's the Wi-Fi connection to the dongle. So I don't necessarily need internet access. I just need connection between this unit and this unit. And then once I have that, then I can go back to the app and retry. There we go. So the first time you're connecting to a car, it takes a little bit longer. If I were to come back later and do another scan with it later, it'll connect to this car quicker once it recognizes all that. But again, takes a few seconds for the connection, but once it does, everything seems to work pretty smooth. Also, when I'm doing scans, because you're leaving the ignition on and everything, what I like to do is I put a battery charger up on the battery so that the systems don't drain and modules start turning off as the battery gets weaker. So once you've clicked on it, you're going to get this screen, and you just select your vehicle. Then you can go to get VIN. It's going to retrieve the VIN number. Some of the older ones you may have to actually put that in, but that's all my vehicle information there. 2012, and then I just click next. And this brings up the next screen. Now I can go through on this one. It's a little bit more in depth than I found. The choices are more in depth, I should say. I can go through just a general engine, or I can go into things, transmission, brakes, body control modules, and things of that nature. So what I'm going to do, because I know that I had an airbag issue, I'm going to hit that and connect. And what that'll do is that'll start running through. Would you like to retrieve trouble codes from all supported vehicle systems, the current systems? I hit all. And that's going to run through. Now see, we have 27 systems on this. I don't believe we had that many on the Snap-on that it went through. Still getting used to this, and I still have to ask more questions after I've played with it for a little while. But out of the 27, I'm going to guess there are certain modules that'll say not found. And what that means is that the modules aren't necessarily installed on the vehicle. That's for different trim packages. It has all the options. But if that unit's not installed, like on my van, it had glow plugs, and it's not a diesel, so you know it'll go through that. Okay, so let's see what we got here. That went through pretty quick. Generic powertrain, all this stuff see rear drive system, no response for module. That just means that it doesn't have that option on this particular vehicle. We'll scroll through, headlamp control, driver door switch. There we go. We have the heater circuit. Driver seat. Let's click on that one. And high resistance, code pending. I'm gonna have to have that checked out. We have a driver door switch here. I want to see what that says. Internal checksum error, test failed. Not sure exactly what that is either. But again, if this was a customer's car, I don't necessarily have to go in here and diagnose or fix anything. I just want to know what's on here before I do anything. So that way, if I do something later, I'll know that I didn't do that. So here's my front side impact sensor is open, and right rear side impact sensor is open. And I am going to say that this is something that I definitely want to get checked out. I don't like the idea that my airbags don't work on this vehicle. I do know that I had an issue when I first bought it, that the sunroof isn't, the screen doesn't slide right. So I have a feeling that this vehicle may have had the headliner down at some point, and I'm wondering if maybe something's not connected. But regardless, for this, what I can do now, that it's run the scan, I can go up here and hit this little clipboard with the check, and what that does is that exports it. Now we have the Acadia van. I click on that, and there's my printout, what that'll look like, and it goes through everything there, and I can export it with my email program. I will send that to myself, or you can send it to customer, whoever, and boom. And just like that, we are all set. Some of the other things that I'm just starting to get to learn is actuation down here. I can go in. Let me back out of that. I want to hit my little screen here to back out of that test. Go back up to here, and body control modules we'll go to. Going to connect it to the body control modules. Don't need the control or codes. I just want to hit that. But I can go over here to actuation, and if I needed to put windows up and things like that, this is where you would go into that model, and you can turn things on and off from there. Like lock all doors. I don't know if you can hear that, but I just locked all the doors in the vehicle. Not all of the things depends on the system, what you can do and what you can't do. Some of these things will have some warnings on there. Test for vehicle separated turn signal. Here's what's this one? The brake pedal position sensor, learn command, things like that we don't really need to know. But if you needed to teach a window to go up or a hatch to shut, this is where you would go into there. It's not something I'm very familiar with doing, but that's where you would do it in this program. Okay, guys, so that's basically what I've got so far. When I leave, I just hit the little unplug, disconnect, and that'll make it easier for me the next time that I want to go back into this vehicle and check that out. But this is what I've got so far. We're going to play with this a little bit more. We're going to have some more demonstrations and some more comparisons against other systems. I hope this gives you a general idea of what it is that we're looking at with our scan tools, and some of the differences between them all. And thanks for watching.